Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I am your host, Down to Crypto TA. Let's get into this chart, baby. All right. We are a bit toppy, a bit choppy at the toppy right now. I'm not in a short position right now. I saw the potential to take this short right here last night with this little rising formation we have over here, but I slept last night. I actually slept. I didn't look at the charts. I didn't do any of that, and I slept. And I slept because I did not open up a new position, so I didn't have to deal with it. We're trying to get this push up right now. You can see that we're hitting our mean reversion right now, and we're seeing a little bit of a rejection in here. We'll see if we can't get the momentum to push back in here a little bit, but we are really choppy at the top right now. A 15 minute is about the only time frame that's really trying to push up right now. I can see us rolling over on the 1 and 4 hour, and we're a couple of days into seeing maybe not even a couple of days. It could just be this weekend that we go in and we fill in that CME gap. That could be it. I cover that on the daily time frame. What I'm seeing there. Let's see. What else is there? But yeah, we're putting in rising formation. Now, if you're looking at this from here, it is corrective in the sense that it looks like another little flag that's going to try to push us back up here to the top side. I did take a little long off of us coming back down into here, so that's bullish divergence right here between these two lows right here. Well, not exactly because you're up above it, but when we tap into something like that, you know how I trade it, so um, that was good enough for me. Little golden pocket bounce also, so that helped, but again, it does. I mean, it's just struggling a little bit to try to do this. We did break below our trend in here, so we did break below it and reclaim it a little bit, but yeah, we're choppy at the toppy right now, a little flaggy in here. We'll see what happens. um showed you that we look negative through here also. But we've basically just been consolidating and going higher, just a little sideways and a little bit higher. Um, you can see how, we're starting to merge a little bit more into possibly breaking below this momentum line in here also with the rising formation in here. Now, I put it on a line chart like this, and then I did one for the wicks up here, but you can see I don't really have anything to connect my low just yet. I possibly could go ahead and do it from here, but this candle still has like 2 hours before it closes, and then I'll know for sure. So if we're rolling back down, we could, you remember that original setup that I was looking for? That could push us up for maybe a lower high, and then we see some continuation down to fill in that gap down there. So we have that double bottom liquidity. If you didn't notice it, actually, let me turn this off for a sec, just so I can just go ahead and do that with this line right here. I'll turn my magnet on. So we can say we have a rising structure in here. We'll be looking for this to break it on down here, and see, because we only held this 236. Let's see. Oh, let me change this. Draw this up. We'll let drop that 236. And it's gonna be easier if I just do that and then add that in. Oof, no, not that. Add the 382 in. Yeah, do it like that. Because if we're still bullish, we'll respect this. This position that never happened. We'll protect that if we're still bullish, and if not, like I said, we'll get in here and we'll fill in that CMB gap. Got two of them, by the way. So that'll be that. You know what? I'm actually gonna take that away. Okay. Leho. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. Respect your work. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one up here. All right. But yeah, we'll take out this double bottom liquidity right here. Maybe we could say that that's a double top, measure that off. That'll definitely put us down through here and we'll take that CME gap liquidity. So you just have to take out the liquidity grab stuff in here. Those big wicks, you have to get rid of those. You have to get rid of those. You had to do that over here too in order to draw your fib and actually see where you were coming into for that rejection. Whenever you have a wick that's basically just for liquidity, you got to take that factor out. And so you would draw your fib on that line chart. For anybody that didn't know that, there's just a little something for you. All right, let's push in here to the daily time frame in here. We're holding above our 28 here and tapping around here on this value area high here. So I'm looking at what I was looking at here. Now this is going to put us back below the 50 if we do something like this right here. And the only reason why I'm looking at this is because of the CME gap in here. I put this it's a large invalidation because the invalidation is at this low right here. It doesn't mean that the entry has to be here. It doesn't mean that at all. I mean, we could fall anywhere through here and still enter the trade. And then you would just, change it, modify it. So don't be stuck on the idea that it would have to be this. But I'm taking into account, this, like I said, the CME gap. And it's basically just, I'm putting it on this low right here. That's it. But more than likely, that liquidity will get taken right there. But anywhere in here is good for the retracement. As long as we don't violate this low right here, we can still be good in here for Biddy. And on our move up, I've basically done this right here, which you can see it comes in line right about in here. Well, we have this down sloping yellow moving average here. It's going to be great for us on a weekly time frame. I'm going to take that away. But like I said, that would put us below our 50. So if we're looking at this, that would put us below here. But I'm looking at this right here, really, where we have the Excel signal at right here. So that the midpoint to that is actually not even in the center. It's kind of off from that center. So I had to do that. So the center is right here, and you can see where we'd be slightly below that. This will have to be our support level. So we want to make sure we come back into it like over here and bounce away from it and not do, well, this was coming up, so that's going to be different. We don't want to blast through it like we did over here because that's going to be bad for us. So if we roll down and we blast through it, then happy days for bears. And we will get short with it. But we want to make sure that if we come back down towards it, that we're respecting it and we're going to bounce off of it. So that will put us right here. I got it slightly below that, in between the 0 and the negative 100 right there. So that's as much as we should do. If we're gonna, I guess if we're gonna continue higher, that's as much as we should do. So I wouldn't look at it like a bad thing. I would look at it like an opportunity and not necessarily a bad thing. Um, But between that and between where the RSI mean was actually at, and look at both of those just in case, because the CME gap, the first CME gap was a breakaway gap. And when it comes to a breakaway gap, it's not something that you generally feel as fast. I know um, we all talk about gaps, but I don't know how many of you guys really know like the different types of gaps that there are. But there are several different types of gaps, and a breakaway gap is a gap where you have a pattern formation and price gaps up, breaking away from that pattern formation. You don't typically come back to those as fast. I mean, that's the purpose of a pattern, right? You don't typically come back to those as fast. You have exhaustion gaps too, where you get to the top and you get an exhaustion gap. You don't typically come back to those as fast either. I think a breakaway gap is going to take a little bit more time to get back to than a exhaustion gap. Maybe, but maybe not. But let's drop down and take a look at that too, because lots of talk about the CME gap, right? So you got this one here, which was a gap. We gapped down initially, and then we gapped back over that gap. So we gapped down right here, which this too was I would say this too was a breakaway gap. A little bit harder for me to line it out to be that way. But prior gap, it just gapped it again, which is crazy. So must be pretty important there, right? But down here, let me put this on a 4 hour here. Oh, you can't even see it from here. Hold on. No, you wouldn't be able to see it from there because I'm all the way out here. Oh, here we go. So where we have that gap at there, let's just use this. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Wrong one. Go with this right here. It's called a breakaway gap. It's when you're breaking away from some sort of a pattern formation. So breakaway gaps, you don't come back to those as fast. You usually break away from them, you don't come back for them. It takes a while for you to reach them again. So when you see that, don't be like instantly we're going to get back to that gap. It's not one of those situations. It's not. That means you failed your pattern. If you come back and fill this gap, that means you failed your pattern breakout. So just know that next time you see it, so you're not trying to short thinking you about to get to that gap. You're not getting to that gap right now. Not right away. Not right away. Big difference. I support so many channels, and I hear them talk about it, and they're like, we're going to feel it, we're going to feel it, we're going to feel it. And it's like, no, that's not what you do with a breakaway gap. You don't go back and fill that gap because that means you failed your breakout. You failed your breakout. And this was a successful breakout. All right, so I'm in this a little long. Like I said, I didn't take it directly off of the golden pocket. I looked at it. I said I'm gonna wait for confirmation because we are choppy at the top right here, and very likely that it could fail. Not a lot of strength through here, but this is corrective right now until it's not. So it's just corrective at the moment. So it was worth me giving it a shot. If we're gonna get any sort of impulsive move, it should be to the top side. I updated the post on. I mean, we talked about it here on the channel before, but Salty, is Salty here? Salty, good morning, Salty. Good morning. I see the Coin King had already responded to you. I looked down and I saw it. Yay, salty. Um, yeah, I updated my post on oh, that's McDonald's arch right there. Just the weekly right here. So I just took away the I had the VWAPs in here, but I really didn't need the VWAPs to be present. But you can see what we've been stalling out at the VWAP right there, which is basically where we need to flip price action at to I mean be bullish on the weekly time frame. That's going to change market structure on the weekly time frame. You should know that it will change market structure here on the weekly time frame if we flip this level right here. Now, it's not the exact top wick; it's just a line chart. But we do, like I was saying to you the other day, we have a double bottom. Like we didn't have a counter trend formation here on the weekly time frame. What we have on the weekly time frame is a double bottom formation. Where we have the low here, where we had not been getting the closures above. It's always good to reduce your chart to a line chart to take out noise sometimes too. So we have the double bottom formation down here, and where we're capping off at, which is basically the high right here. That's this high right here. We get above that, we flip that, right? And then we'll have a change of structure here on the weekly time frame. That'll get us up a lot higher. I mean, that'll be the start of a rotation. How we go, that's questionable. It could just be back into this low right here without taking out or without flipping above this level right here. Because once we flip this on the monthly time frame, that puts us back again. That puts us back above the mean on the monthly, which has always been a reversal point for Bitcoin. That's always been the start of the bull market visible from the monthly time frame. Or I mean, sometimes it could be a little bit but no, we'll say it's exactly. We'll say it's exactly. Yeah. It's not the low. You don't catch the low from the monthly time frame doing it like that. But you definitely get some new information as far as what we'll be doing. So it does require that monthly closure to happen too. So if we just do it and then we're nowhere near the month, I mean, we're nowhere near, close to the end of the month or May, anything like that. So we won't get too far ahead of ourselves if it happens because we still have to wait for May because you won't even notice it on the chart. If it happens and then it reverses, you won't even notice it on the monthly time frame. So we have to have that monthly closure for it. But yeah, this is really nice. Really nice. Really nice. Got an upside down McDonald's arch right here. Looking to get that flip above that. I mean, you can just say this pivot right here. Do you can do VWAP, either one. The VWAP. I know I shared it, but the VWAP is from this low right here. So this momentum line through here, just the start of that momentum line right there is that exact VWAP right there. All right. And if we did, actually, let's do a double bottom measure move. I'm just going to raise this up. Oh, let me move it out of the way so we can see. Yeah, that puts us right here at this low. That would put us right here at this low. So it doesn't look exactly like we would violate, if we were putting in a lower high or what we needed to be trading above on the monthly. Yeah, that puts us exactly there at the top of our mother bar. Puts us exactly at the top of our mother bar. So interesting there. It's definitely our target. It's something that I've been saying for a while, but it's been very difficult and we could feel it again and not get there. But I love the thought of it. I love the thought of it. I really do. All right, struggling with these lows in here a bit. Some pretty good resistance right now. Some pretty good resistance right now. Let's see, SPY this morning. It's not the only one that I'm really watching. SPY. We were talking about this. Oh, my bad, people. My bad. I did not mean to take us off of the freaking chart. All right, here we go. Here we go. So SPY still holding up. We were looking at this yesterday. I was talking about the bearish divergence here on it, but that we were holding right here. So we're not breaking back below this momentum here. We just tapped into it and we've started holding it, which means that we could push up into that next level of resistance there. Potentially a get up into here. I mean, the high is just there. If it's going to be reversing, I think I was looking at some notification that I got this morning about it being back above its 200-day moving average as well. Interesting. Interesting, but we did get that inverse head and shoulders down here that we saw ahead of time. And I thought, okay, yeah, probably get back into here. You know, be some bear divs and it'll roll over. I mean, right now, it's barely hanging on. It's barely hanging on, which, you know, something could be in the works on oil, because I looked at that and it was still dancing around. It was still dancing around in here. I know that we did the mean reversion that I was looking for on oil from here. We're talking about it getting in between this 382 and that 50 for the mean reversion. And I told you I'd leave this flat because I really don't know. I did add like a neckline break in here. If it does this head and shoulder formation and breaks that neckline and comes down, it would be pretty significant, which would mean we would see a nice pump out of stocks and crypto. At least Bitcoin I can talk on. We see something nice there. So if we're looking here, let me just turn off the WAPs. Let me turn off the pivots. And this is what we were looking at. So we got in between here. But it don't seem to be wanting to come down right now. It's not wanting to come down right now. But we did get in between here. It couldn't be exact because I don't know. I have to deal with this moving. But we did get in between here, just up above the 50 a little bit on that initial push in here. And you can see how we reclaimed the floor through here for that push up. But if we get, we have this gap down here, which is interesting. And then we also have the ascending trend line, which is coming from, I don't know about this just yet. So it's nothing to be solid on, but we have this trend line right through here. And if we were to see a break like that for a head and shoulder formation, wherever that would happen at, I have no idea, which means that could change quite a bit. But it would actually get into this gap. It indicates that it comes much lower. It could even do something like this, just depends on if it happens and when it happens, how much this is sloped. Um, but we can't take out this high. That's for sure. We're taking out that high and we can forget about it. It's hopium right now. It's not something to bet on. It's just hopium at the moment. At best, that's it. Hopium. So that high we made again, this has to be it. Because if we go back up here and take that out, then this is absolutely wrong. But you can see the counter trend right here. So it is something that we would be expecting to break down. Um, see what Bitcoin was doing. Okay. Well, we can see our little counter. Let me make sure that's right. I always have to make sure because I hate to draw a crazy line. So we only have this bottom line right now. We don't have anything to connect us to the top here. I just know we don't want to take out that high. That's for sure. So these highs over here really did help. They helped. We had looked at that a few days before. Actually, not a few days before. What day did this happen? Tuesday? Yeah, guess it was a few days before. So these highs in here really did help. Hopefully oil rolls down. Hopefully it does. And then spy with the pump. Let's go. That was a big, nice gap over. I don't usually look at this one for the XBX. I don't usually look at this one. But that was a beautiful gap up over that a trend line right there. This is where we went. I should actually put this one back to the top. Actually, I don't have to put it back. I think the last time we were looking at this, we were looking at I was calling this a broadening formation right here before we broke down. I'll look back at it later, but I do recall saying that we were broadening through here. It was a megaphone pattern. I'm sorry, megaphone pattern right here initially. So, okay, let's see. I haven't done too much stuff on Dow or any of the other ones in here before I get back over here to Bitcoin. I can see we're back testing that trend line again. There on Biddy. Oh crap! When did this happen? Wow! I didn't even know Intel had did all of this. Jeez! This short came from over here when we came back down right here. Dang! So if you did get a chance to take it, you made some pretty good, decent money off of it. Didn't fulfill. So looking forward to get back down to here. But dang, I didn't know Intel had did all of this. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This was uh this was from over here when we broke back down. So we was looking for the SFP back below, which we did get. And yeah. Dang. Wow. Take that away. I'm about to jump back on Bitcoin, okay? I do cover stocks and whatnot here as well. Um, I used to post on it a lot more than talk about it, but, I don't think I was streaming at the time either. I just wanted to see what that was. This is some old data. It's really old. Um, so I can tell you how wrong this is because it's really old. So I don't know if this is gonna be, worthy or not, because again, it's very old information there. I haven't looked back at that in a long time, so I'm gonna take that away. I can't even tell you anything thorough there. Good old Qualcomm. Apple, I was looking at last night. Our Bitcoin is chilling there. Um, so we have this little triangular formation here on Apple at the moment, and we're still within the green zone on Apple here. You know, if we lose this, I am looking at some stuff a little bit lower, more so down between here. I'll take this one away. I think I initially was looking at something right here. Let me see. Surprise! I don't have. Yeah, I do have this ray right here, and I'm not sure. Okay. I might have to go back and do those. I don't know why I didn't really paying much attention last night. For some reason, I was looking in here, um, here and here, but actually, let me just do away with those. I got my table there. So I was looking, I was looking for Apple to rotate all the way back down here to the low of this channel in here, which is still very possible. If Apple doesn't put in a new high here, that'll be the scenario. So let's just say we only get as far as coming back up here and we start to break down below this, then this is good. I think that this is coming from, it's either a monthly or a 3-month time frame. It may be a 3-month time frame. So that will put us down here. Um, at the start of this orange zone in here where we have the bottom side of our rising channel in here for Apple. But right now, this looks really nice. I'm hoping that Apple does. I've been sitting in the Apple position for quite a while. And the only reason why is because I'm so far from um, any sort of liquidation. Like I'm super far, like liquidations at like 56 dollars, and I don't think Apple's going there. If it does, I just have to kiss my little money goodbye. But I've just been sitting in it, just waiting for something meaningful to happen. And I mean, we can be in this for a long time, but I like this. I like this for Apple. Papa VVV. Venice token on the daily bullish. Um, Keen to hear your thoughts. Venice token. Is that in the stock market or is that a crypto BVV? I will take a look at it. And what time frame and what chart specifically? Crypto, okay. I will be glad to do that. So Amazon got some really great news that came out on Amazon. I did buy here. I have a original long bias from lower, but I did end up buying this low right here. and I did not pick up much right here. I just bought it just in case, but my target really was for lower. So right now we just push back into resistance in here for now. An old level through here. Uh, so we've just pushed back into that. Let's see if that's gonna hold and actually get us down a little bit lower, but something to do with AI. Uh, but are at resistance there. I can go ahead and take a look at Venice. Venice. Let me put us on the Bitcoin chart for a sec here. You say it's crypto. I didn't get a time frame from you or a specific chart that you're using to look at this. I guess it doesn't really matter if it's perpetuals or spots. I just use Bybit, but time frame would be helpful. Yeah, this is already gone. Had a nice little squeeze down here at the low. I'm gonna look at it from a weekly. Let me start here. Yeah, this is, I mean, it doesn't look, not a lot of big wicks, so I can appreciate that. I can tell when something really has disastrous liquidity. It's not that bad. BVV, huh? Probably not gonna have enough data down through here. Yeah, it's relatively strong, that's for sure. Doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. I can see where you would break your momentum at. You can watch that on your RSI. Just draw you a line up through here to look for that break because it is pretty high up here. Or you could swing fail right here where it is right now. How this candle right here got toppy. Could look for an SFP. You just see what's happening. Yeah, could push into here. It might continue up a lot higher. It could be a 1, 2, 3 in the process right now. You usually top out somewhere around a 1.618 and a 2.618. So it could just be a wave three on this, and then let me make sure. I want to make sure that those wicks are not going to be a problem for me saying that. Could be. Um, but yeah, maybe push up here. Just hide this. Yeah, maybe push up here into this 2.618 right here. Take out that liquidity and then start to see this thing cool off a bit. Put that on the daily. If I was basing it on the daily, I wouldn't be able to say that about it. Yeah, from a daily, I wouldn't be able to say that about it. So likely get into a cooling spot in here. quite a bit of wicks to the low right there. Yeah, that would definitely be my target right there. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, good looking chart. Good looking chart. And probably again stall out right here around 883, something like that. Looks like that would be your top, just taking out this right here. And then you start to cool off in here. Uh can actually change this line through here. I actually can change this. I'm just gonna take that away. So 4 hours good enough. Because these will move. Momentum still increasing. So yeah, into there. It's not bad. I wouldn't be going long on it now. I wouldn't. A little too late on that. I have looked at BBV before here on the channel. Let me see where I put it at. So it's still riding the same information. Yeah, because I've done this before. Interesting. Yeah. Copy. Yeah, would not be. Nice to see it do a comeback though. This is the last time I looked at it was when it got this head and shoulder. I was looking at it going down. So interesting. Know what all that's about. Hmm. A lot more data here on the Binance chart. Hmm. You see where that was again? Yeah, that's about right, my friend. So the little long position I took here was once we reclaim back above this ascending trend line right here for Bitcoin. Try to be a little bit more conservative than just taking the uh, golden pocket entry, even though the golden pocket entry was authentically bullish divvies against this low over here. Let's see if we can't get this momentum break to the upside here. See if I'm going to put in a lower high somewhere around 72, 72 100, something like that, maybe. Hope we're going to break out here. You're welcome, Papa Joe. Yeah, somebody a couple of I think it's been at least like a month now. Somebody had introduced that token to me. I had fell in love with it for a little while there. It's quite a few tokens introduced here on the channel from viewers that have been really nice to watch. I started by looking at Link last night. Thought about buying me a little bit more Chainlink. I had shared with you my journey on Chainlink, where I started buying at and where I would stop buying at. And so far, we've been holding our bear market lows on Link, so it looks really good. So over here, and pardon the lines over here, the weekly levels, because I haven't pulled them out. But if you recall, this is our bear market low right here. And I said I wouldn't buy anything below here, which is here. And we did wick through it. We got one candle that wicked through it, and then we got a back test on it right there. We've been holding within the bear market lows for quite a few weeks now. We've come back up this trend line right here. So this demand line right here, we have broken above this demand line here. Um, so I was looking at it like yesterday where my last buy was, and it was right here. I don't know why I didn't have a buy order for the 837, as I know I said anything below here would be off limits for me, because at that point, we're outside of what we would normally do here. But I started buying it as soon as we came into the bear market lows. Which it looks really, really good. I see the last time I was covering, let's see which I think we were on, I think, do I usually cover it on the weekly or the monthly? I think I usually cover it on the weekly time frame. Let me make sure it's not the daily too. Yeah, it's the weekly for sure. I usually cover it on the weekly time frame, just looking at where it starts to compress at. We're starting to get a little bit of compression in here, but nothing serious just yet. Nothing serious just yet. Is it over here? It's not in here. Don't need some stuff that's over here, but if I don't need that, I'll keep the volume. Let me see something. Yeah, we're starting to squeeze in here. So this is nice. Hopefully we're about to see some sort of a big pop to the upside. You can see where we start to get our squeezes at, along with that Bollinger. Start to get our squeezes at. The green is at, that indicates up. Where the red is at, that tends to indicate down. We were too strong over here for it to even matter. But that was the first time that we fallen below. Actually, we didn't. We didn't fall below our macro trend line either. Right there. This is our macro trend line right here. So yeah, I mean, this is a great place. I was really thinking about buying some more yesterday. Should go ahead and get it. Should go ahead and get it, because this is our macro trend line right here. It hasn't fallen below this right here. At least close below it anyway. Hasn't done that. Hasn't done that. And this goes all the way back to 2019. So that's beautiful to see that. Not a lot of stuff has done that. The link is one. So yeah. Imagine that. Buying the bottom. I was doing my little calculations like, how much do I need to own? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna lighten this out so I can tell the difference. But beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I don't know if you own any chain link, but it's looking right for the picking. Right for the picking. Not financial advice. And I think, let's see, what was I looking at down through here? Yeah, this was trailing down. This was pretty good through here already. Like, yeah, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. As long as we don't do this again. You can see how it did it right in here. That's because it moved up too fast. You can tell the difference, how fast it reached the top. Putting the bearish divergence across here. That's the difference there in that continued sideways chop versus this right here and where it is now and where it was here, where it was there. Yeah, that center reversal. That's the big move right there when you do a center reversal. That's amazing. But yeah, definitely. I'm gonna scoop up a little bit more today. Um, I know the delta is negative on the 4-hour time frame also, and the MACD is below a signal line right now. I mean, that's the same thing. When you see the delta negative, that's really all it is the MACD below the signal line. But 4-hour reads corrective again, so again, I think it would just be a buying opportunity if we do manage to reverse down and fill in both gaps, even if it's just one gap. I think it's a great opportunity to buy. I like to see that happen before the weekly close, and that way we don't mess up that double bottom formation. Mm. Let me see. It's beautiful but risky. I will stick to BTC for now. Yeah, it is risky. It's risky because it's an altcoin. That is so true. It's very risky because it's an altcoin. But surely it is beautiful. It is beautiful. I'm gonna take my risk on that one though. 'Cause you're only gonna put in what you can afford to lose. So I've been very mindful in my decisions of when I buy and how much I buy. And then knowing to cut it. Just because you're buying a spot don't mean you can't have a stop loss. Because you can have a stop loss. You don't have to hodl through your spot bags. I know you get taught to hodl, but there's nothing wrong with having a stop. And that's something I've been adamant about for the past 4 years is taking out my initial investment when my money doubles. That way I have a free trade. So if it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, I didn't lose anything on it. So taking out my initial investment has been a big thing for me. And not just thinking about getting rich, thinking about not staying poor. Preserving my capital, as opposed to how much I'm gonna make off on it. I focus more on how much can I lose from it, and I don't want to be sitting out of money. So, yeah. And then when it gets to a place where I could do more than just take out my initial investment and actually take out some gains from it, I'll do that too, and then I'll just leave it alone. And if it pans out, it pans out, and if it doesn't, then I don't lose anything. That's like my biggest thing. I just don't want to lose my money. But yeah, definitely have a stop on your spot bags too. Um, you'll lose far less having a stop on your spot bag than just trying to hodl through it because you can always get it low. If it's going down, it's going to go down. I'll get it lower. I'll reassess the market and then I'll make my decision on buying it again. Way better than leveraged. Way better than leveraged. Let's see right now. Let me take a look at it. Because I did DCA into it. So October 20th. That was the last buy. Yeah. It was for the 910, like I said, with my journey. Nice little push out of Bitcoin. It was the last push. It was the 910 and it was October. It reads here October 20th of 2020. No, January 31st. I placed that order October 20th, 2025. Because I had exact places like my support and resistance levels were my exact buy levels within this zone right here. That was it. That's the only places I knew I would buy. So my last buy was right here, and I set that order up October 20th, 2025, and it hit January 31st, 2026. And I said I wasn't going to buy below here. I didn't have an execution order for the 837, which is surprising. Um, I don't know why I didn't set one for the 837, but I didn't have one for that. Probably because it was so close to this low. I said I'd stop there because if it's going to be a bull market low, then I wanted to be in it there and run it up. So yeah, like you said, scary, but gotta have a plan. Or risky. I'm sorry, risky was your word. We're getting close to that 72 100 I was talking about. Let's see if we're gonna reject there or if we're gonna if this is gonna be an authentic breakout. LOL. Alejo. I like that name too. Dang, it took I'm just thinking about it. It took a long time for that order to fill on me too. I set it in October. It didn't fill until late January. A little bit extended on the 15. And that's at 72 100. Trying to see if that lines up with anything significant. Not really. Somewhere around here though. I guess the lows right in here. See if I dropped it right there, what would it make? Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I actually prefer the body, but let's see that. As we're pushing through that, then we'll keep going. Maybe might be a real breakout over there. Okay, we did get above the momentum line here. Hmm. I was gonna delete this trend line right here, but since we tapped it and held it, I don't know if it was that we held, or if it was just back test of this breakdown right here, where that line popped out at. I don't know which one it was. Supposed to indicate underlying strength, but we'll see how we doing right here. Should have left that like I had it then, huh? I think that's still good enough though. I just want to see. Yeah, should have left it like I had it. Something like that. Right here. Yeah. That's why I really don't like putting lines on wicks. Not I mean, you do and you don't. I'm gonna leave it like that. If we blast through here, then maybe we're expanding. We don't blast through here, then we're not expanding, and it could be a rejection point. And I like it. I like it. We look good right here, so I like it. It's just stalling a little bit right here. We'll see. Something didn't come through. Oh, good morning, Y Crypto YT. I took a long. I took a little long here after we came back up above the trend line here. We got to break below trend line. I entered into a little long position. I think we're a bit toppy in here this morning, personally, and the only reason why I said we never got into that 786, but I think that we're a little bit toppy in here. We do have like an ascending pattern over there on the 4 hour time frame. The only reason why we're not breaking down is because we're putting in bullish divvies. I mean, you can see the bear divs, of course. You can see the bear divs, but we're putting in bullish divergence, trying to get the push down. And so everything in here is just corrective. That's why I was like, I'm gonna take the long position because everything in here is corrective. And so if we're gonna get another impulsive move, it'll be to the upside. It won't probably won't be to the downside just yet. I was trying to see if we were gonna stall out right here, if we're gonna break this and see some sort of an expansion to the upside. I was waiting on us to get into this 786 right here. How likely does that happen? I don't know. You know, I still concur that we're a little bit toppy, but like I said, like trying to break down, it's just really, and this is just this trying to break down is really difficult in this environment with the consistent impulsive moves to the upside here. Even here on the 4 hour, right here, see that higher low, and then you see right here that bullish divergence right there. That's why we're not breaking down. But we do have it's a little structure through here. I mean, this can always break to the upside too. I was explaining how sadly what I was trying to do yesterday was I wanted us to, let me not measure that out of, you know, the day we broke through here, but I was wanting us to break. Remember, I wanted us to break down and get the long off of here, and that just never happened. Probably if I'd have done this too. You know, hindsight, but we were holding the 7-8. I mean the 236. We're holding the 236. And it was between the 236 and the 382, but I just really wanted that. Didn't get it. I did end up taking a long yesterday. I think it was, I don't know where it was at. I have to look back at it. I did end up taking one and I closed it out last night and I slept. I got some beautiful sleep last night. Beautiful sleep. This is, yeah, this is different because this is when I was hoping that that was going to be the case. I never moved this. My bad. I never moved this. Hold on. Yeah, it's a little weird now. I'm gonna delete that and do it again. It looks a little weird now. Yeah, for me to have to reach all the way back over here. Yeah, a little weird. I'm gonna leave it like that though. And this is the same liquidity for the top over here. Still trying to reach that. So really, I mean, if I'm thinking about the liquidity, then I wouldn't be looking at this if we're going to take that liquidity anyway. Maybe I'd be looking for price to roll back below it and into here. And then we see like a line rejection. Looks like we're trying to fail that top. Looks like we're trying to fail that breakout from here. And I want a short, but that's not going to be it for me. We got to liquidate 130 million to hit 73K. I guess we about to liquidate 130 million. I guess I guess we about to do that. Is that what went in on this top right here? Because that's 73K right there, 73,145. Is that what went in right here on the shorts? And I saw this last night, and I didn't take it. Did not take it. I just didn't feel like we were gonna. I mean, I could that still would have been good, but I just didn't feel like we were gonna move too far away from it. Okay, that's what the heat map shows. We got a lot of liquidity below us. But yeah, they're on the chopping block. The shorts that are in here definitely on the chopping block. I mean, if the environment, like I said, we look toppy in here, but if our environment is still bullish, that's the previous day high. We take out the previous day high in an uptrend. I think this weekend would lead. Yeah, you definitely. I mean, you take out the previous day. Let me see what this is. I'm just gonna delete that. I know, actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that. I was banking on something else when I did that, so I'm gonna leave that. Different idea. Cash flow. No RSI. Yeah. I've never used cash flow. Yeah, mainly it's going to be momentum and volatility. Because if strength's there, I mean, that's what it is. If it's strong, it'll do it. But that's definitely something that I could learn for sure. I always appreciate you coming with the insight. Let's see here. It is Friday. Today is Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday, and I usually like to take a look at gamma. And while it has not updated, we did push. Not sure if we pushed exactly into it. I would have to go over and check the IBIT chart, but 41 is like our largest dealer strike price. 41. That could usually be like a resistance point. And again, it is Friday, but we were here, right around here. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna go check the IBIT chart to see, but we were right around here, and that is our largest strike price right here. I usually get into something like this and probably see us push away, but we're gamma positive through here all day long, which means dealers will sell the rallies and buy the dips. So, I mean, if we do, I put on the projection in here, which would be like 42. But let me just go back in somewhere between 4150 and 42 in here. That I don't think we have to worry about yeah. Let's see what happens today. See what happens today with the expiries for today. All right. Let's see. But let me put this back here. I usually check it out from down lower. So yeah, that was our 41 right here. We did push up into that, and then I said what, 4150. Actually, let me clone this one. Make sure I don't already have it in here, because I don't. 42 is what I said. No, 4150 and 42. So I got 42 there. So it was the 4150. Yeah. So I mean, it's Friday. They usually, push back. I didn't even bother looking at it yesterday or anything like that. They do usually push back in here, but I guess I'll see what's going to happen once that chart starts to update over there, because it won't do it until market actually opens. I might have to just post on this one today, but that is the data. That is the data. So yeah, we're in it. So if we're getting that rejection in here, I mean, we know we're here. We're toppy. We're toppy. I need to move that one back up. I'll put it all the way down there. And put it back there. All right, so we got through that wall. Wasn't no monster just yet. We're expanding a little bit of an expansion in here. Not nothing significant. Nothing. You can see how we're not aggressively expanding, but we do have a small bit of an expansion in here. Daily bias is bullish. We should go up from here. Yeah, daily is still holding out right now, holding up really, really good right now. We do have a fast signal that we've had as we've been topping in here. We did get a fast signal cross on the daily, and I mentioned that. So we did get a fast signal cross in here, as you see us wicking. So that's what we've been doing in here off of the daily. You can't see it in here right now, but this is it's the quick signal right here. So we did get this. So we could be topping a little bit in here. I mean, fast signals, they really just depend. They really just depend. But when I just add all that together, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We're not getting higher in terms of the candle closure so far. And we'll see how that ends up going because we're not getting higher on candle closures. This is the current candle that's up here now. But if we wick again, you're just going to notice that we're not making higher closures through here at all. And once more, this is something I'm looking for. If that were to happen, we'll be looking for support to come in around the center in here. And so that basically puts it somewhere around about 67, 859, which I think, yeah, that fills in the gap right there. So that fills in the gap that everybody's longing for. But as I explained, it is a breakaway gap. That's why you didn't feel it immediately, because it was a breakaway gap. And breakaway gaps do not get filled immediately, because if they did, then that means you failed your breakout. That's why you move. You move from those, and you don't tend to come back to them immediately. It's general. I think like general timing on a breakaway gap is like a couple of weeks. I think that's general for a breakaway gap. I can let me see, because if I don't remember, I like to make my notations on things, but actually, I don't remember. I just know it's been a long time since I studied it. I think it's a couple of weeks though before you come back into a breakaway gap. But so far, it's only been how long? About a week so far. But I mean, I don't know. All right, let me get back over there on that other chart. I think that might be I think we might be around our weekly pivot. I think we might be around that. I don't think I have it. I have so much stuff in here right now. It's unorganized at the moment. No, we're not. 71, 280. 70. No, we're not. We're not. We're not nowhere near. Nowhere near that. Trapping shorts now. Yeah. We still haven't made our break here. where we're stalling out at. I would like to see us break above here. CPI data in an hour. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. CPI data coming up at 8:30. Core CPI month over month, CPI month over month, and CPI year over year. Why can't they just call it CPI and just give us all the data? Just one folder is all we need for it. But yeah, we do have CPI coming up. We have some medium impactful news here too, which is going to be prelim consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. It's going to be that, and then some less impactful stuff, which is factory orders and federal budget balance at 2. So 10 and 2, 8:30, 10 and 2. A little bit of information coming out there. It's going to be your stuff right here. CAD had employment change and unemployment rate, which I don't look at enough on this channel. Forex. Oh man, I was looking at something. Home Depot. I was looking at Home Depot last night. I was just combing through my charts, and I happened to scramble across Home Depot and realized that it hit the low of its range. I could have bought that. That's all I was thinking when I saw it, but too late. Too late. I was like, Home Depot. Trying to figure out. I got some buy orders set up in stocks right now. Right now, I'm looking to. I think I got 2 open orders right now for Uber. I got some open orders for Uber right now. I think that's the only thing I have some open orders set up for right now. And probably Hood. I think Hood. I got some stuff open for Hood. Only one order open for Hood, I believe. Yeah, there's some stuff on Uber. Which, if it get filled, it'll take a while for it to happen. I got them limit orders open. You know how you set the limit order and then they give you that little pop up letting you know you're far off. You're far off. It's like, yep, and I'm gonna stay far off and wait for it to get hit. Let's see. What was it? Let me look at BB. Oh yeah, I think Amazon did something with Eli Lilly too. They did. So good for Eli Lilly. I'm just gonna share this real quick while waiting for Bitcoin 1 hour to see if we're gonna break that descending momentum line there on but I have been watching this thing. I was actually thinking it was going to break down back in the day when I initially did this on Home Depot. I was looking at this like a head and shoulder, but I had this range mapped out on it, and it's like been this range that Home Depot has been in. You can see how it chopped down below it because I did do this on stream before, and I had a measure move off of that neckline descending down, which would have been crazy, and not a dang sure would have been buying it. It's barely, I mean, it's too far away from it for me right now, but it has just been holding this range in here. Yeah, for quite a little while now. I mean, I would say, January. No, it didn't start from January. It actually starts from here, but 2024. So I'd like to see what's going to happen in here. If it rotates all the way back up, that's going to be some nice little capital right there if it does. for the Home Depot. Haven't heard a lot about you know, storms or housing. Haven't really looked at too much on that. Might be something worth looking at to see. There could be some. Oh, I didn't mean to open that up. Thank goodness I wasn't on it, showing my scripts and stuff. Could be some yeah, I see a little article they did in here about 2 days ago talking about how it's soaring. I wish I'd have caught that low down there though. I wish I'd have been combing through my charts that low. I haven't really combed past anything in the top really the top 20 projects here on my list. Haven't really combed past that to see it. I see all kinds of articles in here talking about the low though. But yeah, dang, I missed it. And then you look back at it. You got that universal profile. I have mine. It's so epic, man. Oh, hold on. Let me see right here. Thoughts on one, two, three. Thoughts on Luxo for the AI agent's narrative. I see the Coin King answered. He's really big on Luxo. He's always trying to push somebody into buying Luxo. I always fuss at him about it. Like if he meets a newbie to the crypto space, he tells them about Luxo. Now he's been doing this for a very long time. And since he's been doing it, Luxo price has been declining, 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 declining. I've been like, please stop telling these people to buy Luxo or Luxo, however you want to pronounce it. Please stop telling them to buy that because you're going to taint their opinions on the crypto space by telling us it. Always start them out in Bitcoin. Always start them out in Bitcoin. But he tells everybody to buy Luxo. He does a lot of imaging and he does Luxo. And yeah, he's a big fan of Luxo. Big fan of Luxo. I'll take a look at it. I'm gonna put it on this chart right here. Big fan of Luxo. Let's see if I even got it in here. I'm not. Oh yeah, I do. LYX. Oof. Oof. Cough. Ugh. That's 15-minute chart though. But cough. Ugh. Whoa. Well, I mean, when you're at the floor, where else can you go? So if I were looking at this, if I was doing what I would normally do, which again, I'm big on momentum. I'm big on volatility, and it tells you a lot. Momentum really tells you a lot. Understand that. This has pretty much been your ceiling. If you got past it, kudos. But that had pretty much been your ceiling right there, which should have been your floor. You don't really have a floor. You literally don't really have a floor. The floor is declining. Let me try to get this to be a little neater. So there are good projects that just don't make it. You can see how your floor is declining. So I guess if you hit your floor, then your floor probably would have been right here based on this. But it's, ugh. I just, and then obviously all the way back at that low. I can't see the vision. You do have some bullish divergence through here. But I can see the consistent bearish divvies coming in at the same time. So, and that's not helping. That's really not helping. So you can see the bear div through here. Not catching a break. Bear div through there. He did get that one time right there, but you're already catching a bid right here, trying to come up with the bear div. And in a bearish environment, that's all that really matters is the bear div. So so weekly. I mean, I suppose if you could get a bounce out of this, then maybe back to 45. I mean, if you can just get past here, like you're not even getting past what would be the quickest thing that you could do, which is a 7. You're not even getting past that. So just a 7 mean reversion. You can get a closure above 31 cents, then you'll likely get into 45. Maybe even push through 45 a little bit, but I don't see it doing more than that at the moment. There's nothing in here that suggests that. There's nothing in here that suggests anything. So, yeah, structure. You really need to change market structure, and I don't. I mean, nice little squeeze in here. You seem to have done something somewhat, some sort of mean reversion whenever you got to squeeze. But yeah, right now you're not even getting past that. What you could, yeah, you're not even getting past that. I'll hide this for a sec. I'm just gonna lock it down though. So you're doing at best a 7. You're doing at best a 7. That's when you can see you're getting your moves in here. When you're getting a closure at least above your 7, something like that. We'll see how you failed on that push above your 7 right there. But at best, like that's pretty rough. And your reversals are coming as soon as you get, yeah, at best, like that's a poor RSI. It's a poor RSI read, poor relative strength read for Luxo, poor relative strength read. You can see where you're rolling over. Yeah, so I mean, it's not something I would take a chance on because it's just that bad. And look at that. But fundamentally, I mean, you can have great fundamentals or a great project, just period. It could on paper it could be a great project, but not make you paper. You know. I don't really know what Fabian did there. I don't know. It was a really strong project at one point. I remember seeing a lot of the disgruntledness on X about whatever was going on behind. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. But the Coin King loves Luxo. He absolutely loves him. I've tried to talk him out of selling it. You should see how angry he gets. He loves it. All right, Biddy. Yeah, we were a little bit extended in here on this little move up right here. But yeah, a little bit. See if we come back in and we could at least hold, it looks like right in here. Maybe right in here. Let me just draw a fib on that. Yeah, it was close. I'm gonna take this line away. would really rather it be right here, but I don't see anything that would match with that, and it most definitely probably wouldn't be a 50. Seriously doubt that we could hold a 50 in this environment. So at best, to hold a golden pocket. I guess I should leave the 50 in here just in case, but yeah, I doubt it. Let me fall back in here. I think the doji candle pretty much, or the spinning top. Oh, why crypto YT? You say you're not sure. The universal profile thing, I like the idea, but it's so easy to imitate it. Someone else was doing it, and I think that I think Coinbase was doing it, and they have the actual capital to back it. So he knows it. I mean, I don't have a lot of social accounts. I think that that's how it's supposed to work. Am I correct? You just have one login for all of your accounts or something like that. I don't. Yeah, it's one hack done. Hey, what is Luxo supposed to do? Coin King, Chubby Cheeks. He's in his own little world right now. Yeah, it definitely that yeah, Fabian. Isn't it Fabian? I think that's who it is. Um, very smart guy. Very smart guy. I think I know that he was part of the original team for Ethereum. And it may have been his coding for yeah, I want to talk intelligently about it. For the What is it? Hold on. Huh? Asking you to explain. Isn't it Fabian?
Yeah, Fabian. Focus stuff.
What did he
He
start?
created Ethereum ERC20
Okay,
contract.
so he
All
created
you
the
see,
contract for ERC
yeah,
20 for
all this
Ethereum. That's
contract ERC20 is
he
he made
knows it.
that.
A very smart guy. I thought initially when they started Luxo that it was, something to do with fashion industry or something like that. That's what I thought. That was my impression in the beginning. So I don't really know. I don't really know where they're trying to take it to or what went wrong with it.
They created universal profile. So basically, where you can, your profile will be on base blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, so all the blockchains. So you have just one profile instead of
Mhm.
creating so many things. And the wallet, the
Mhm.
universal profile wallet,
Mhm.
is basically your identity. So
Mhm.
you can basically have your, asset, your money, whatever you want to do. It's right on your profile. One profile for every blockchain, basically.
Okay, so it's for blockchain. I said social media, so I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell I'm talking about. But isn't someone else doing that too?
Well, if anyone else doing like Base is doing that, but Base is basically
That's
copying.
what
They
I thought. Base is
clone
doing it,
Luxo.
and
Luxo's the
Base
one
is
that
gonna have the
actually,
financial backing. Like they're really gonna have
yeah,
institutional backing. So it's gonna yeah, because it was so easy to copy the idea.
yeah. But Luxo, they got that masonry, which is I think one of their main car company that actually had a partnership last week with them. So they
Yeah,
use
I wanted to be
Luxo.
sure you could hear. Right, crypto IT side.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to be sure you could hear it because he really knows.
yeah. Just get a universal profile. It's free, and you'll sign up. You can experience, and what you can do there is really, really cool. I have it under DJ DeFi. You know,
And I think at one point they were calling Base out because he did absolutely. They did. Whoever was doing the
well, he
code,
was part
they
of
he was
Luxo, and
part
then
of
he went
Luxo.
in
He
base
went to
and
Base and he
copied all the
copied the
code,
Luxo code.
which is,
Yeah, that's
we don't care,
crazy.
but Luxo's the originator, so it's growing. It's gonna
I mean,
grow.
it's common to copy code, right? Yeah, it's common to copy source code. It is, but still, like they should have had some sort of contractual agreement where he couldn't just do that. Um, if you left the company, go somewhere else. Yeah, that was correct. I just wanted to be sure. Yeah, that's correct. Well, he couldn't just go somewhere else and start, use that information. That would have been cool. They didn't do that. All right, we're gonna have our news data come up here. A few more minutes here. Maybe we just chilling, waiting on that. want to see us break back below here. Without doing that, I mean, just say it's holding. Yeah. Same thing for Bitcoin. On the daily time frame. Um, you see how we came into this high right here, but we diverged. Same. I mean, we didn't diverge over here, but it's the same situation in here with this top right here. Like we need to. We're trying to get there. Break this channel. You're gonna break this. Yeah, break that channel. Be great. But that's where we're stalling out at. And then again, like I said, the IBIT definitely. What time do options expire? I never really thought about that. I'm always, yeah, never really thought about that. There we go. Let's see. Is it 8? Did it expire at 8? That's a good question. Coders. Yeah. Said Albert Einstein. Oh man. That would be crazy though. If I mean Luxor used to be oof, I think it used to be worth a lot. Be crazy if it used to be. I used to love it. I used to love it, love it, love it. Be crazy if it did pop all the way back up there though. It was at one point Luxor used to lead the bull market. When it would pump, it would lead the bull market. Kind of like how Cardano used to do that too. Um that used to be my signal. Trend level significance resistance 73 needs to confirm close above this to signal a breakout. Yeah, we do. We do. Um, we do. We're not, and we're not getting there right now. Not right now. I think the 1 hour still has a chance. I mean, maybe if we could break that, yeah, if we could break through that, then we could definitely do it. But we paused out as soon as we got to that point too. And plus, like I said, those expirations, and that being that Yeah, market makers tend to sell. Yeah, dealers tend. I'm say just to say dealers. Dealers tend to sell around that highest strike price. They tend to sell. So, and then they'll buy the dips if we're not, flipping, which I doubt we are. Just zooming out. But everything suggests we're toppy in here. I do need to do a hedge trade. I just don't want to do it right now. I really do. That might have been my one shot right there. AI answers. Buy zone for me, not panic zone. 67. Break below this would liquidate over 200 million in long positions. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think we definitely know this is on the chopping block. And know that's on the chopping block. And you were saying 67. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna wipe out. Does that wipe me out? I think that might even wipe. No, no, no. I think I came in right here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I think did I come in right there? I can tell you. Throw this noise in here. Uh, no, no, no. I, we bought this, and then I closed it out as soon as we got back to the, which is crazy, which is crazy because I closed it out right there. I came in. Actually, let me just look at my trade because I was saying I needed to take a loan because I didn't have one at the time because I closed out and I kept trying to short. I remember trying to short there. It may have been right here. So I came in at 66.5. So yeah, I did come in right here. I came in right here. So my long is here. Surprise it's not there. I think yeah, I don't think we'll come back down there for me unless that's our gap down there. Uh, it's hard to tell from this chart if that's our gap down there. But yeah, I came in down there at that 66 5. And I TP'd again. The last TP I took. It might have been when we came back up right here. That might have been the last TP that I took. Because I am, kind of weary of this top in here. I wanted to just, hang out until we pushed up higher. But I am weary here. We got a triple top. One, two, three. Triple top right here. So, yeah. Somebody said earlier trapping shorts. I think it was Leho was saying trapping shorts. Could be a little tiny flag right there. Could be. I just don't see any strength in here right now. In 10 minutes, we have that information come out. I guess we'll know what we're really gonna do once that CPI data drops. We've been giga strong though. We've been really, really, really giga strong. Yeah, I bet it's gonna be ugly too. Yeah, we've been really strong. Which, like I've been saying, the first time I saw it, I was like, "Did market makers lose control?" That was last weekend because this is a new weekend. Last weekend when we were coming up here all in 90, I'm like, "Did market makers lose control?" Because we don't do numbers like this in a bear market. We don't hit 90. That's some bull market stuff right there. Yeah, we've been high off the hog. Everything's been really getting up there. I had to switch this to a 56. Um, just to see where exhaustion might actually come in at when we were getting that high. Like, sure, I can do a drop back below 80, but I had to switch it. What they say when we pumping into data, they usually say the first move is the false move. It's got higher than this high. Check back on. Yeah. Oil is trying to break that trend line that we drew out earlier, so it's still rejecting with this, which is good. A little counter trend right there. Dang. You short now? uh, that was a good short. That was a that was a good one. I'm too scared right now. I'm not scared, but yeah, that was a good short right there. I could see the potential. I could definitely see the potential. It is a good place to. I mean, I want to consider the short in here. I really do. I really, really do, and I need to do a counter trend position. I really do. Yeah, we really don't have any. Yeah. Let's see. It's gonna be nasty. It is gonna be nasty when they decide to roll us over. I'm a FOMO today. I think we had just hit the top of that. We had just hit the top of that pattern too, right there. This is rising, so we should. I mean, I'm gonna do a little position size. I'm not gonna do as much. Let's see. I'm really running behind trying to jump in. Let's see. I'm gonna get. Hold on. Let me see if we're gonna get a little bit of a bounce from here first. Give me a little bit of a bounce, please. Said no. It said no. All right. I want to be sure. I need Leho's entry. That's the entry I need. I should have considered that. I should have considered that. I would have considered that. And I put my attention on this top. I haven't even moved this thing. All right, we're on standard deviation 1 right now. think I'm gonna pause for the break back in, but that was a good entry there. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna wait. I'll be late though. But that's definitely good entry up top there for the SFP. The SFP. Dang. Lay home need for you to split your shares on that move right there. oh, oh, man. And you the one said they were trapping shorts. That's hilarious. We just got our news. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. Came in. Let's see. Under. Forecast was 0.3%. We came in at 0.2%. Came in under forecast. I think what greater than is good for it for the dollar. Breaking this time. So we must be breaking it on the 1 hour then, because we're breaking it this time. It don't mean anything really, but we are trying to push through this wall right now. We took out all of this liquidity right here. I'm still gonna be looking for a short myself in here. Gotta kind of wait it to see. Make sure we can get into breakdown. If not that one, then a break back into here would be cool. Could fail, but um, I just need to see the weakening. Could look back at that. We broke that. Hold on. It's far off. It's pretty far off. I don't think this one was any good. Maybe it was on that little tap, but I don't really like that. So I do a half position size right here. No, yeah, I mean half position size because I don't have any confirmation of us going down right now, of us losing any actual steam. Yeah, I did a quarter position size. Got another SFP, but that was it. See momentum rising or trend strength. It indicates that it's trying to rise, but um, its resistance is monster. So I just did. I don't want to get chopped up. I feel like feel like I'm gonna get chopped up, but I did go ahead and enter right there at the 72,231. Um, let's see. Definitely good to look for a short. I will up my position size when I see us starting to break strength, whatever remaining strength is in here, which don't look all that impressive. Whatever it is, I'll either here, either we roll over from there or we roll back down here, and I will add to the position size. Right now, keep it tight. This will probably wait on market to open, but oil is, starting to break a little bit in here. So we'll see if we get that continuation down on oil. We get that continuation down on oil, then I'm pretty sure we'll see more of a move to the upside out of Bitcoin. So we hit target and we reject it from target. But it's not done yet. It's not a straight drop to the downside. So we don't know what kind of news they're gonna come out with today that could make this all wrong. But oil putting up the good fight because they already know what it is. I hear it's already a bunch of issues already without getting political or anything like that. We're probably gonna chop for a few 71.3 and back up. Won't be doing no 50. Yeah, they'll chop us until market opens. I wonder if there's anything that has come out. Let me take a look at that real quick just so I can see if there's any. No, I don't see anything new in terms of news to come out about oil. Could be. Hold on. Actually, I'm on the wrong thing. Let me see. 8 minutes ago. I guess they're supposed to be having some more talks today or something. Um, really been holding price up. Really, we got that double top over here. Do we didn't even do that. We got a triple top. We're not even committing to any downside. They keep hammering away at sellers. Won't be no sellers left in here, and they'll break it. But I'm thinking how much they want to probably get into the 786. Because right now we're not really pushing past the golden pocket. I don't think. I think that's what we're still um, basically chopping around at. It's 786. I mean the golden pocket, basically. Not really. Yeah, it would just look like a bunch of wicks on a higher time frame at the golden pocket, likely. Actually, let me see what this reading looks like. If it's the same, it's the same. That reading right there, about the same. Add a little bit more. I know I said I was gonna wait. Yeah, if we're going anywhere, we'll get into this 786 right here. I had been trailing the 4 hour, and again, I think the 4 hour is I mean, we're toppy, obviously. 4 hour, like I said, we had that bullish divergence down there at the low, so we're still swinging, we're still chopping, correcting, but we're sideways and up um, with that rising structure in here. It just seems more like this is the narrative right here. And usually when I see like we're chopping the standard one on the 4 hour time frame, but usually when I see the Bollinger still rising and that top is hitting right here, like you usually volatility will push you back into that. And it just started yesterday. At some point yesterday, throughout this, it just started to cool off a little bit because we were like expanding into a 4, which is wild. Like it's common in an initial breakout, but it's not common after an initial breakout. And we kept doing that, and that just started to relax a little bit more. But if I'm looking at this and I'm using Bollingers on this, I need to put the actual. Let me just sync this chart. Actually, you know what? I don't want to sync it. You see how this is sitting up here? You get gravitated. You get gravitated into it. You get gravitated into that 786 right there. A price will get gravitated into that. And we just started relaxing a little bit yesterday because we were because I was having to like initially. Well, actually, I can't tell it from this chart. Was I using a 4? Because one I was using a 4. I don't think I was using a 3. It could have been a 3 that I was using because I know I usually say you're hitting a 3 unless you just broke out of a squeeze. If you didn't just break out of a squeeze and you pop above a 3, then that's usually a good place to want to start shorting. So, but this is, yeah, it's still pushing, it's still ascending. And that tells me that we'll come into here. Because initially I thought, I mean, I know my Elliott wave can be absolutely wrong. Because the 618, it's like it's steep, but like I said, it's doable if you have like a a mean reversion. Like you can process the thought on that if you have like a mean reversion. So if I was doing that was one, that's one, that's two. And then we got here and three and four, no violation. So we was arguing about, not arguing, but debating on this one right here. And then five, and then four. And let's just say we continue up to some, I mean, whatever we're doing to end through. I don't know how this is going to look outside of a line chart. But let's just say 4 5 4 5 and end up in here. It's wonky, but we did hold like the 236 382. We held that. We didn't yeah, we held that. We held that 236. It was a very shallow pullback. This, however you want to look at it. If you're drawing it out like did break that a little bit up there. Might be more like that. But I just find it more palatable like that. So short is definitely a good idea. I just think that we can do this 786. It's hard to see that. It's still gonna be hard to see it when I do it right here too. That's our trend going up versus our trend going down right here. We'll see. Mm. And I know the line chart is going to work better on the 4 because as soon as you see a close on either side, then that trend has been broken to whatever direction it's going to be, whatever we have happening right there. Right, 30 minutes till market open, then I'm going to call it a day. So hopefully, let's see what this volatility will do for us once the market opens. I got my stop loss just above that high. Yeah, got my stop loss just above that high. So on Blowfin, must stop because it's a really small position size. It's like 72,524.4. Gave me a little bit of cushioning. So basically, it's right here. Just a little bit of cushioning. So if we shoot up here on market open, you know I got stopped out. Unless we fall through. Unless we fall through. And my entry is pretty much when I added to it, it brought me up a little bit more to like that and then stop. It's just right there. And if we're lucky, then I know we'll get this liquidity. I know we'll get this. So it looks like this. So if we're lucky, but I don't know. I don't know. We really got to take out this low right here, though. Really got to take that low out. Highs up, we're holding. That's a little bit of cushioning right there. Let me see something since we're inside on. But delete that. I'm gonna take that away for now. I wouldn't have too many lines on the chart. I know we're inside from here on the daily time frame. Okay, let me drop this. Almost there. About 20 more minutes for market opens. Check spot out again. See oil moved up. Oh, that's sand. That's sand is. Well, I was talking about that yesterday, and I was like, maybe it could be a short. Sand is gone, but it had to see the bear div. Didn't get the bear div. Sandis is doing its thing. That's crazy. I guess as long as oil is, I'm trying to get the S&P. S&P still holding. Has a rising structure here as well, but if it continues up, that angle will change. So, but SPY still pushing up in here, still holding up really good. Still holding up. But you can see that angle, unless it just shoots a candle up right here. I think it's coming back into there. But then that'll be all time high for SPY if it gets above there, which is crazy. It's still holding, so I don't like it. But I can see the bullish divergence below it. I can see the bull dips down below it. Sort of like right now. Kind of like right now. You can see the bull dips down below it. Down below this push over here. We need a candle to just, and we're moving too slow. So we're just creating bullish divergence. We gotta collapse. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? One thing I know for sure, we no longer respect the point of control on that daily time frame. That same one that everybody's been watching. We no longer, not the point of control, but the value area high. We have no more respect for that line. Like zero. If you haven't noticed how easy we can move up and down that line now, yeah, we have no more respect for it. Do not bounce. Do not bounce. 15 minutes. Come on. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on. I just want to take the time to say I love and appreciate you for kicking it with me. I really do. I really do. Nothing I wanted to happen yesterday happened. Only thing that did happen was the return to that point of control for that little bounce, but that was it. That was one possibility. It wasn't the one I wanted, so it wasn't the setup that I displayed, but I just mentioned it that it could bounce from that. But yeah, I mean, last 2 days, well, yesterday and today has been oof, just not getting what I want to see right now. Maybe that's why I got to sleep so good last night. That setup, I didn't even realize this at the time when I was looking at this and I was wanting price to come back into here and saying, nah, don't come back here though with you know, the X is in here, that the gap is actually in here. So that's back down here to this trend line right here. Right here. Getting into that gap. That first gap on CME. I think that this is, yeah, that first gap on CME. I think it's right about in here. I know it's between here somewhere when we was looking at it. Yeah, it's right here. It's right in here. Because we had the break or the break was here. The break might have been here. It's in between here though. Um, but that would be coming back to this trend line right here, which would be nice. I don't have enough on this position right now for it to, be worthy. It's usually when I don't put too much on the position that it just goes in that direction, and I'm like, dang, why didn't I up it? But yeah. If I don't feel it, it's better to just protect myself. But I know that that's that first gap. It's there. So we'll be looking to hold that demand line down there once that gap gets filled. Otherwise, it's gap number two, which is going to mess me up on the weekly. No, not necessarily because you have to close somewhere down there instead of back at the top. But we look good on the higher time frames. But I know that gap. Yeah. But that was the first one. So yeah, the first gap right here. Actually, we would break through that to get to this gap. Yeah, we would break through it to get to this gap, which means we lose the momentum to the upside. In that case, hold on, did I put that right? I didn't put that right. It don't matter if I didn't put it right anyway, because it takes some time to get there. But we would lose the momentum around this zone right here, which we're barely just hanging on to. Come on down, Biddy. Barely just hanging on to this. Barely just hanging on to this. And I said, let me see. Yeah, this is the one that I deleted because I didn't like the fact that we broke below it, but we did reclaim it. And again, I took a long off that reclaim right there. And I didn't like this VWAP here anymore. I didn't like that one anymore. As this was the I think that was the one we were initially holding. So I know this was the one for the original idea. It's this VWAP right here. Then I just said I didn't like this one because we were far from it. We're far from that. So now you can see it a lot clearer now over here at the golden pocket, how we're still just busting our heads here at this golden pocket. As opposed to that 786. It's 1, 2, 3. I wonder if that lands any better. No, lands the same. Maybe I just have to add this back in. I didn't like it. I'm gonna add it back and put it back on that. Put it on that. Just keep it like that. Yeah, we're far from that. Let's see, I try to look for, if I'm going to use VWAP anyway, confirmation. Like if I have something like this, I'm looking for VWAP to roll up under it. like that to just give me some sort of confirmation. I can't find anything there. So when I was doing this one, you can see how it rolls underneath here. It's usually a little cleaner than that one too. Usually a little cleaner than that one. Uh, but it's about like yeah, we're not coming down. We're not coming down. And it sucks. We're not coming down. See, not coming down. We're close to doing something, but yeah, that VWAP is pretty far off. But yeah, if it's gonna break down, it will at least roll into it. So that'd be like over here, like, uh-oh, how do I do that kind of stuff? It'd be like this one, like like the trend that was through here. Then you spot that, and then you plot the WAP on your trend. I know that this is gonna break down soon because it rolls up. It rolls up on it like that. And it just adds some confirmation or confluence or something like that to it. We did that one. I just don't like the way it looks on the lower time frame. I think that's it. And then from here, yes, it cuts through there. I like that. I didn't like this swap yesterday. Um, it's good to be hedged, right? One minute before market opens. It's the weekend, guys. It is the weekend. There she goes. Market is open. Are you going to give it to us, Biddy? Now, you did lose a little bit of momentum there. I saw you. Bitcoin doing what Bitcoin do, don't it? Like, oh, Bitcoin is doing really, really good though these past couple of days now. It spends more time up than down. But the dumpage, I mean, that's to be expected in a bear market, but it's not behaving like it's in a bear market right now. Not these past several days. Not these past several days. It hasn't. Uh, I don't think it wants to come down, but I mean, it stops me out. It stops me out. I will continue to look for a short. I probably won't try anything again in here. I am feeling good on this 786. So unless I see something like on a 4 hour time frame that says, "Hey, take the short," I'm not going to try it again until we get into here into the 786. If 4 hours show me something, then I'll try it again and get stopped out right here. Uh, and be able to push all the way back there, but hopefully, I mean, it ain't looking promising. Promising. 1 hour would need to take out this low. And I think the same would be said for no, for the 4 hour, it's gonna be right here where this double bottom is at. 4 hour would need to take this out. I mean, I wouldn't be waiting for price action to get all the way down here on the 4 hour. I'd be looking for something else on that 4 hour. But 1 hour for at least some sort of a change of market structure, it would need to be right below this low right here. And then the charge for the 4 hour again is going to be over here at these. It just looks like money. This looks like come get me. Like that has to be some good liquidity right here. The double, and then eventually we'll come back. I hope that's how it goes. So it's just not moving fast enough. We have to see some strong action in here. Volume probably was under. Yeah, subpar at best. Volume was like garbage. It was garbage all the way up to this move right here. Total BS. Still BS. Come on in. Come on in. Still BS. That's good. That's better. Need that volume to keep rising. Uh, so I'm gonna leave this like it is and just hope that it'll continue down here. Um, if it takes this out, then we'll keep going. I wouldn't expect for us to come back up here, so I just leave this running. I'm not gonna take anything from it just yet. I'm just gonna leave it running because if I get stopped out, it's not gonna be much. It's not gonna be anything. It's not gonna be anything impactful. I said it's usually we're somewhere around the 20. I mean, base, yeah, we're somewhere around the 20. We're at the mean. Yeah, we're at the mean right now. That little green line right there, whether you do a 14 or a 28, that's where we're at right now. Do want to see us continue this party to the downside, but hopefully it don't roll back up from here. Best of luck to you, Leho. Best of luck to you on your short position. That would have been a good TP. Just because it came right there, that would have been where I would have TP'd. But I don't have enough on the trade to actually take anything from there, so I have to wait. that's 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 plainly put. I have to wait. So I have to wait. Was that VWAP? I'm just out of curiosity. Sure enough, that is that VWAP. It's that VWAP also. It usually lines up with it. The RSI situation. Break it on down. Thank you, Why Crypto YT. Nice hanging out with you too, Leho. And thank you for the compliment on the good work too. Yeah. Oh, who said pork? Why Crypto YT pork? All right. Have a good weekend. Love and appreciate you. Pork.